Hello, thank you for joining me. This is Jasmin Talk Shum. Today, I wanted to really um, putting myself out there. I'm just going to be completely transparent with you that I wanted to offer a program or journey. I prefer to call it a 10-week journey that it has been in my mind, churning, boiling, like doing flips, for a long time. And it's always something that I want to offer. But just to be completely transparent with you, that back then I just felt like I'm not enough. Like, who am I to offer this program? Right. And over the course of time, I've been in different masterminds, different coaching programs, and then I met other like-minded peers, and then it just naturally come to me that I have things to offer to them. I have suggestions, and that is always my cup of tea, I would have to say. And it just comes so natural. And some of my peers like, well, you got to offer it. And so I keep telling myself, like, I have no more excuse. I have no more excuse of hiding. And so I am really putting it out there. And like I said, I'm completely honest with you. This is my first program that I'm offering. It's a pilot program that I'm doing it for 10 weeks, just to see how it goes. And, my goal is to eventually offer a 9-month program for the people, so that it will be a longer hand-holding period. You will have my guidance, and you will support it. And then the 3 months, then you are practicing yourself. So that's my own experience, because I felt like for the longest time, I thought that coaching and other type of program, it's only for the special ones, like for the selected few. And one time I was told by a peer and a coach, she eventually became one of my coach. She said, you know that you're not supposed to do this all by yourself, right? I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much my belief, that I'm not special. And when she said that, I was like, oh, really? I, I'm not supposed to go on this journey all by myself. I thought that's what everyone else is doing. So as soon as she said that, I started just it just stuck with me. And then I'm like, oh, okay. So slowly I started opening up. I started allowing myself to ask for help, to hire coaches, mentor, to walk alongside with me, to support me, to give me courage and guidance and motivation to kick my ass, and do all the things that um that my ego would normally tell me, no, no, you're not good enough, no, who do you think you are, and all those things, right? So I've been through programs for a couple of years, 2, 3 years now, and I honestly, now it's hard for me to not to have a coach. It's really, really difficult, because um, for me, especially, I know my end goal, but if I have a little hiccup on the way, I tend to retreat, and I'm like, oh, this is too hard. Oh, this is too difficult. Oh, I can't do this. Who do I think I am? So now that I am so accustomed to coaches and mentor, it's hard for me to not have that level of support. And that is, to me, in my opinion, again, it's the best gift, one of the best gift. I want to say that would be the best, but it would be one of the greatest gift I can give it to myself, because it's the support that I need, right? That not everybody can give you the level of support that you need, especially sometimes when it comes to your family, that, if you're lucky that you have great family support system, network system, but, not everyone is as lucky. And most of the time, our family is the the polar opposite of us, right? We want this, but that's the exact thing that they are not providing us. And that is part of our journey. That's part of our lessons. So if everything comes so easily, then there really be no lessons and no reason for us to be here. So like I said, I wanted to offer a 10-week journey with me, and we'll be meeting once a week and on a group call, like on Zoom platform. And so we can my intention for this program, I have a little cheat sheet that I wrote down some of the benefits. And so in my opinion, that I really, really wanted to empower you all, that to let you know that the power, it's all within you. You have all this power, and it's a matter of awaken your power within you. And a lot of times these power are left aside, and nobody ever pay attention. They're doormats, and not that they're obsolete, but they just kind of got put aside and forgotten. And those power are magnificent, important. Those are the most precious, and you don't need to go to other people to get their to give all your power away. So many times in this society, right? I'm saying, parents, teachers, society, they've been accustomed to taking our power away. They said, well, you're not good enough, like, let us do this for you. Let us tell you what you need to do. Let us tell you what major you need to study. Let us tell you what job you should get. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have been like, since we were born, we've been slowly giving our power away. Now, I can speak from my own experience that, I remember I was strong-willed, and I kept voicing my opinion when I was a young child. But by age 9, I got defeated. And I'm like, no, you know what? It's too hard to exercise my own power, because every time I speak, I express what I want, and bad things will come. It just never go my way, and I felt like it's just too difficult. So by age 9, I completely gave my power away. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to make any more decisions. Of course, I didn't know that was what I was doing until like recently. And I'm like, oh, it was that event that totally took everything, like kind of stripped me naked, took everything away from me, that I decided that I no longer want to exercise my power, that I no longer wanted to express what I wanted to say, that, I felt like I am insignificant and I'm not important. And you know what? You just tell me what to wear, what to eat, where to go to school, how to live my life, and I'll be happy. So, from that age on into college and way past college, I was like, okay, just tell me what my next step would be. I'll be happily take it. But guess what? I felt so unfulfilled, unsatisfied, lost, and trapped after college. And I just did not know what to do anymore. I'm like, I felt I have everything that you look at from the outside that everybody wants. I have a house, I have a job, we have 3 cars, we have a house in downtown, and we have a kid at that time, and everything that everybody wants, and it looks so perfect. But I was so unhappy, unfulfilled. I could not pinpoint what was wrong with me. And so guess what I did? I told my husband, I said, I want to leave the US, and I want to move back to closer to my family there in Hong Kong. And he was so supportive, and he let me go. And he said, well, I'm going to stay put for a little while until you find a job there, and then maybe I can come. And I was like, okay. And so turned out that, not that it wasn't a good decision, it was always a good decision. It was great because I had my first child there, and my family was helping me. But I have a fear of getting a job there because it's just too brutal. And so anyway, halfway through, we ended up, I think a year later, we ended up being in the Middle East because my husband got a job there, and we stayed there for a few years. And guess what? I was still unhappy, and it wasn't because of my job, because I wasn't even working at that time. It wasn't. I was just staying home. I even have somebody to help me clean the house and things like that, and still not happy, still kind of grumpy every day. And I was like, okay, what the heck? It's wrong with me. And so I kept searching and searching. And, it was really that now that I look back now, is I wasn't sure who I am. Basically, I don't know who I am. I'm not living to my purpose or passion. Um, Again, I wasn't really feeling trapped. I met a lot of good friends there. And that environment kind of helped me really decide that it wasn't really about the environment. It's about me. The problem is me. I'm not speaking my truth. I'm not aligned with my soul, with my core value. So now that I am come out on the other side, I kind of know, I know my direction really well. And I just really wanted to get this out there to help more people that, like people, a lot of times I can see a lot of my friends, they're feeling trapped and lost, and they don't see a way out. They just felt like, well, I have to do this because I was told. I have to do this because I don't want to disappoint people. I have to do this because I need a paycheck and all that stuff. And I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm never at a position to tell you to do anything. But what I want you to see is to have a different perspective, to understand yourself more, to really take a deep dive into who you are, what your vision are, what your dreams are. You have all those within you. You just forgotten about it. So I want to help you to find them, to uncover them. Basically, dig a hole, find a treasure chest. Like we have to find our treasure chest. Within it, you have all that you ever need. And the power is always within. It's not outside. It's not the doctors. It's not, the teachers. It's not, so yes, they have great advice. They have a lot of knowledge, but I want you to always remember that it's you that know you the best, not other people, not including our parents. Nobody knows you better than your own self, your own soul, and your higher self. So I want you to connect to that inner voice. Do not ignore it anymore. And that's when how you can find your power. And I just really wanted to emphasize that, the more so again, for my own experience, is I never know who I am. And it's funny because we will go to school 12, 13 years plus 4 in college or more for some people. And the example would be me walking out of college and I have no idea who I am. I can only identify myself with my major, my name, where I'm from, my gender, uh, where I work at, and that was about it. I have no clue of who I am. I even remember one of the first day I have met my husband, like he asked me, like, I don't know, like, what's your favorite color, favorite song? I was like, I have no idea. You tell me, and that would become my favorite, whatever songs and colors. And so I've been searching and searching. Wanted to say that I've been searching for answers since a very, very young age. I have all these questions and I felt like nobody can ever answer. And I'm like, okay, am I the weird one here? Like, why am I having all these questions? And like, I didn't even dare to ask because I knew that nobody can answer them. So until I'm much older, I'm like, oh, that totally makes sense why I thought about that, when I was age 3, like all this experience, like all of them start making sense because, because I understand myself so much at a much deeper level. And with the contrast in the world, among your friends and your family, your siblings, right? That's when you can really see yourself really well. And that, I, especially in my teens, I try so hard to fit in, even into my 20s, and only to know that I just not supposed to fit in with the main crowd. I'm just not. And to today, I still not, because I think very, very differently than most of the people surrounding me. And, especially at work, at school, and all that, I just now accepted the fact that I just think differently. So that's why I don't really fit in to the mainstream groups. And I used to not be okay with it, because I'm like, all I want is just to be normal. All I want is to be accepted and be normal. Now I am completely at peace, and I don't even want to be invited into the main groups anymore, because it's not serving me. So you can see that the example was at an earlier part of me. I was not at peace. I struggle, I was just always, I don't know what would be the best word, just very unsettled, can be very agitated, irritated, things like that. But now I'm completely at peace. I know myself, and so I can even easily decide what event I should go, I want to go, I'm dying to go, versus like, oh, can I say no? Maybe I was just trying to find a way to say no. Now that when I make a decision, in terms of commitments, like I am at peace. It's not that I say yes, but deep down I mean a no. When I say yes, I mean a yes. I feel a yes. But when I say no, I really mean no. And and I don't regret, I don't feel guilty about the decisions that I make, and that is the power. So also before, I was very insecure about how people see me, view me, judge me, but now I really don't care. It's like, well, really one of the greatest teacher that I followed before was Han King, and he would always say, other people's opinion about you, it's none of your business. And I didn't really get it then, and I totally get it now. It's like, you ask 100 people, 100 people's opinion of you would never be the same. Maybe a couple of them, but most of them, they would not be the same. And you just cannot mold yourself to fit all those 100 people. You just have to be you. If they like you, they like you. If they don't, then they don't. If they're compatible with you, great. If not, then they are compatible with someone else. We have to be comfortable with who we are. And when we are comfortable with who we are, we'll love ourselves. And when we love ourselves, we can love other people. So I really wanted to empower people to acknowledge their power, to use and embrace their power, to really start building a greater, better reality for themselves, right? Again, it's a journey. I'm going to jumpstart your life to guide you to the direction that you want. I'm not going to tell you which direction to go, because you are the one that knows your direction, but I'm going to jumpstart it for you, right? We're going to work together, figure out like where you want to go, your goals, your vision, your dreams, have a different perspective on things. So many times we are just stuck in our own thoughts and ego, and we can't even see. We only see the trees. We are not seeing the forest. And I want to help you, right? To gain a different perspective, so you can see the forest, see the universe, see how things are working out for you instead of against you, and we'll examine your limiting beliefs, and our reality is basically formed according to our beliefs. So what do you think? If your beliefs is more life is supposed to be hard. That was my belief a month ago, and all the way up until, I don't know, the age I was born, the day I was born. Life is supposed to be hard. And guess what? My life, it's always a little hard. There's no ease and grace, even though as much as I want ease and grace to flow in. But my belief that my life is supposed to be hard is basically I'm not deserving ease and grace to come in. And now I'm like, oh, duh. When I have that blocks, then how are the ease and grace going to come in? So I started clearing them. So we're going to look at your limiting beliefs, to see where you want to go and where you are now, and where you want to go, and what's the gap about, what's the blockages, what is in between your goal and your dreams and where you are now. We're going to look at that. We learn to acknowledge, accept, and embrace ourselves. We're going to really go on a deep dive on the self-discovery journey. The more that we know about ourselves, the more empowered we are, the more power we have on our hand, and the more control that we are on in our lives. Like I said, one of the examples that I like to give is like you can choose picking a raft, just wood with the rope tied around it. That was it. Or a ship, a cruise ship, right? A Disney cruise ship, whatever that is. A lot of people, what I'm seeing, I felt like it's a great analogy, is they are on the raft. They purposely chose a raft. They're on the raft. They thought, oh, then there's no complication. I mean, there's no button pusher to push, no programming. They're on a raft. And then they end up on an island. There's no food, no water, nothing, no human being. And then they complain, like, well, I didn't ask to come here. Why am I here? Right? And then because they never chose their own destination, they said, well, I would just be happy wherever the current takes me. Or do you want to be on a cruise ship that say, you know what, I want to go here and here and here. These 3 spots. You take me there. You chose a cruise ship that's willing to take you to those 3 places. It might not be one trip, it might be a couple of trips, but you set your own destination and then you ask them to take you. So which one do you want to be? Now, this is easy to see, but a lot of times we are blindfolded, or we have limited vision that we're not seeing. Oh, why did I choose a raft? Why do I want to choose a cruise ship? We can see that easily, right? And until a third person comes in, it's like, well, you have all this option. Why didn't you exercise it? Oh, I didn't think that was an option. Oh, it was just not an easy option. It's not an easy choice because, again, I get it. Sometimes it's the norm, the society, the tradition. Like you just cannot break out of the norm, right? And otherwise, there will be, undesirable consequences. But in reality, you are making the decision to go with the flow, to go with what everyone else tells you. So I just want you to start acknowledging and seeing things at a different angle, right? And then to create your own ritual, it would be really good to kind of ground you, center you, and just understand, that the kind of power that you have. This is the end goal that I have for you. Now, we're together for 10 sessions. It won't be this is not a program or a journey that's going to fix everything for you. But what it is to give you the tools, you have the confidence that you can continue on the journey on your own. That you feel confidence, that you know what to do at any given moment. Now, again, I'm not to say that you don't seek help. Yes, you do, but just do not give your power away. It's always good to receive opinions, but at the end of the day, you have to be the one to decide what resonates with you or not. So instead of other people say, oh, can you just decide for me because you know me really, really well. And basically, we're shifting the responsibility. When we don't take responsibility for ourselves, we just cannot make any of the changes, and things are not going to be different, much different. So I want you to consider, and if it resonates with you, please reach out to me, private message, and comment here, and I will be posting a little bit more information on the description so that you have a little bit more idea. But again, like I said, this is a pilot program I'm offering at a really low cost, just so that I am happy at exchanging my time, with exchanging the time between us, among us, and the feedback. And again, I will be asking for feedback and testimonial. But again, this is a fraction of the cost of what I will be probably charging in the future. But I don't want to use this as a tactic to get you to sign up. But I really have the passion. And one more thing I want to say is when I did a LASIK quite a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, after my husband did it, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'll go try it. And so both of us went through I forgot the terminology, but it was a practicing student under the supervision of a professor, right? So we chose to go through that program, and my goodness, the student, because she is new, and she go over and over and over again to make sure the record is correct, to make sure everything that she's suggesting is good and compatible with me. And then a couple of years later, one of my friends asked me, so where did you do your LASIK? Because or laser or whatever. And then he said, I want to do that too. I was like, okay, this is the hospital that we go through, but we go through the kind of the internship program. But he decided, I don't want to go through the internship program. I want to go with somebody that's very experienced, right? I was like, that's fine. You can pay more, and that's a peace of mind that they are more experienced. And turn out what happened was that doctor, because he's done it so many times, he thinks that he knows everything inside out. He didn't pick up the right chart. I think he picked up someone else's chart and did the procedure on him. So he was so mad. My friend was so mad. He was like, oh my gosh, I paid more money, just thought that I would get a more experienced person. Yeah, anyway, that doctor didn't do a very thorough job in checking the chart. But so what I want to say is, if you're committed in changing your life for the better, creating a newer, better version of your reality, please come join me. And it's going to start next week. And I'm going to have more detail. And if you have any questions, please let me know. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.